Judas is not a positive character in the Gospel of Judas, but a traitor of demonic nature whose betrayal of Jesus would ultimately promote him to the rank of stature of the hated Scythian demiurge, Yaldabaoth. The following translation reflects these developments, which are explained in the footnotes. A full consensus of scholars regarding how to interpret this Gospel is still some years away, but the general lines of thought outlined here seem to be reasonably well established. Definition: demiurge, in Gnosticism and other theological systems, is a heavenly being subordinate to the supreme being that is considered to be the controller of the material world and antagonistic to all that is purely spiritual. The Gospel according to Judas. The secret verdict which Jesus discussed with Judas during the week 3 days before he celebrated Passover. When Jesus appeared on earth, he performed signs and great wonders for mankind's salvation. Indeed, some did walk the path of righteousness, but others walked in their transgression. The 12 disciples were called. He began to discuss with them the mysteries of the universe and the events that would transpire. A number of times he did not reveal himself to his disciples, but you might find him in their midst as an apparition. He was in Judea with his disciples one day, and he found them sitting together practicing piety. When he approached his disciples seated together saying grace over bread, he laughed. The disciples said to him, "Master, why do you laugh at our giving thanks? Haven't we done what is right?" He answered and said to them, "I'm not laughing at you. You are not doing this by your own will, but so that your God may be blessed." They said, "Master, aren't you the Son of our God?" Jesus said to them, "How do you know me? Amen, I say to you, no human generation will know me among any of you." But when the disciples heard this, they were vexed, enraged even, and blasphemed him in their hearts. When Jesus saw their ignorance, he said to them, "Why all the angry frustration? Your God, who is in you, and his servants have frustrated your souls. May the one who is solid among men from among you bring out the perfect person and stand before my face." They all said, "We're strong enough." But none of their spirits were strong enough to stand before his face, save Judas. He was able to stand, but he couldn't look Jesus in the eyes, and turned his face away. Judas said to him, "I know who you are and where you came from. You have come from the immortal Eon Barbello, he who sent you. His name I am unworthy to pronounce." But Jesus, knowing he was thinking about lofty things, said to him, "Come away from them. I will tell you the mysteries of the kingdom. Not so that you will go there yourself, but that you will grieve all the more when another replaces you, so that the 12 disciples might be complete before their God." Judas said to him, "Can you tell me when these things happen, when the great day of light dawns for the new generation?" But when he said these things, Jesus left him. He appeared to his disciples early, and they said to him, "Master, where did you go? What did you do when you left us?" Jesus told him, "I went to another great and holy generation." The disciples said to him, "Lord, what is this great generation that is so much loftier and holier than us, and isn't even in these eons?" Suddenly when Jesus heard this, he laughed. He said to them, "Why do you contemplate the strong and holy generation? Amen, I say to you, no one born of this eon will see that generation, nor will any host of angels from the stars lord over it, nor will anyone born of mortals attain to it. That generation is not from that eon, which is the abode of the saints, but the generation of men among you is from the human generation, power by which you rule." When the disciples heard this, their spirits were disturbed. Not one could find anything to say. When Jesus came to them another day, they said to him, "Master, we saw you in a vision. Great dreams dawned on us last night that were all alike." He said, "Why have you gone and hidden yourselves?" So they said, "We saw a great house, a great altar inside it, and 12 men, whom we say are priests, and a name." There was a crowd offering devotions at the sacrificial altar there. When the priest finished, they took the offering. "We were also giving our own devotions." Jesus said, "In what manner are they sacrificing?" They said, "Indeed, some fast for 2 weeks, but others are sacrificing their own children, others their wives in blessings and pieties for one another. Some sleep with males, others do destructive deeds, even more commit a plethora of sins and unruly deeds, and the men stand upon the altar and call your name. While they're involved with the particulars of the sacrifice, the altar is filled up." After they said this, they were quiet and disturbed. Jesus asked them, "Why are you disturbed? All the priests who stand before that altar call upon my name. I say to you, my name was written on the book of the generation of the stars by the generation of men, and they shamefully planted fruitless trees in my name. He continued, you are those who worship at the altar which you saw. That one is the God whom you serve, and the 12 you saw are yourselves. The cattle you saw brought in are the sacrifices, the many whom you misled upon the altar. The blank will stand this how he will use my name, and the pious generation will be devoted to him. After him another man will stand up from among the fornicators, and another from the child killers, and another from the man lovers, and those who fast, and the rest of the unclean and lawless, and the erroneous, and those who say, we are like angels. They are the stars that bring all to completion. For it was told to the human generation, behold, God receives your sacrifice from the hand of a priest, who is a minister of error. But the Lord, who is Lord over the all, commands that they shall be convicted on the last day. The bottom half of the papyrus sheet is missing from pages 41 and 42 from this manuscript, preserving only the top 8 lines. Just 3 lines are readable in a photographic fragment of page 41. Jesus said to them, stop sacrificing. What you place upon the altar are above your stars, and your angels have already reached their end there. So let them be. Before you they go to their own ends. To the generations, a baker is unable to feed all creation under heaven. They were confused. They said to him, explain this to us that we may understand. Jesus said to them, stop struggling with me. You each have your own star there, and everyone is bound by fate. In the blank where he did not go, which the blank of the spring of tree of this eon, after a time he came to water God's paradise, and the generation will remain, in order to not pollute that generation's conduct. But this generation has it forever and ever. Judas said to him, Rabbi, what is the fruit of this generation? Jesus said, every soul among human generations will die. But when these complete the time of the kingdom, and the Spirit leaves them, their bodies die, but their souls will be quickened and taken up. Judas said, what will the other generations of men do? Jesus said, it is an impossible task to sow on a rock and receive fruit. So then, this is the way of the defiled race of corrupt Sophia, the hand that created mortal people, and their souls go up to the eons above. Amen, I say to you, neither ruler nor angel nor power can see that place that this great and holy generation will see. When Jesus said this, he left. Judas said, Master, as you've listened to all of this, listen to me also, for I saw a great vision. When Jesus heard this, he laughed and said to him, Why do you strive so, O 13th demon? But say your peace, I am bearing with you. Judas said to him, In the vision I saw myself, and the 12 disciples were throwing stones at me and persecuting me greatly. Again I came to the place where they waited behind you. I saw a house, and my eyes weren't able to comprehend its size. Great people surrounded it, and it had a single roof. And in the middle of the house was a crowd. Judas said, Master, take me also inside with these people. Jesus answered and said, Your star has misled you, Judas. And he said, No mortal can enter the house you saw, for that's the place reserved for the saints, the place where neither sun nor moon will rule, nor the day. They will stand there always in the eon with the holy angels. Behold, I have told you the mysteries of the kingdom, and I have taught you about the error of the stars and about the 12 eons. Judas said, Master, surely my seed is not under the authority of the archons. Jesus said to him, Come and I will show you, but you will lament greatly when you see the kingdom and its entire generation. When Judas heard this, he said to him, What good is this to me, since you've separated me from the generation? Jesus answered and said, You will become the 13th, and will be cursed by all the remaining generations. You will rule over them. In the last days they will blank you. You are not going to the heights to the holy generation. Jesus said, Come, so I might teach you about things which no person can see. For there is a great and boundless eon. No generations of angels sees its magnitude, and the great invisible Spirit is within it. This is the one whom no angel's eyes has seen, nor a thought of a heart has received, nor is it called by any name. A shiny cloud appeared in that place there, and it said, Let an angel be my help. A great angel, Autogenes, God of light, came out of the cloud. Because of him, there were 4 other angels in another cloud, and they were servants for the angelic, Autogenes, God of light. The 4 other angels from another cloud existed because of him. They became a help to the angelic autogenes. Then Autogene said, "Let Adamas exist." The emanation happened, and he created the first luminary to rule over them. He said, "Let there be angels worshiping him," and a numberless throng came into being. He said, "Let there be an eon of light," and so there was. He created a second luminary to rule over them with the numberless throng of angels worshiping. This is how he created the rest of the eons of light, and he made them to rule over them. He created for them numberless throngs of angels who assist them. Adamas was in the first cloud. This was the light which no angel could see among all those divine. And he, the image, and according to the likeness of his angels, he revealed the incorruptible generation of Seth. The 12, the 24, by the will of the Spirit, he manifested 72 luminaries in the incorruptible generation. The 72 manifested 360 luminaries, or 5 luminaries each. The Father is the 12 eons and 12 luminaries, 6 heavens per eon, so that there might be 72 heavens for 72 luminaries and 5 firmaments for each of them, so that there might be 360 firmaments. Power was given to them, and a great host of angels numberless for their glory and worship. Virgin spirits too, for glorifying and worshiping of all the eons in the heavens and their firmaments. The Father, his 72 luminaries, the autogenes, and his 72 eons call the crowd of immortals universe, which is death. The first human appeared there with his incorruptible powers, but the eons who appeared with this generation, the one who contains the cloud of Gnosis and the angel, is called L and eon. And afterwards Autogene said, "Let there be 12 angels ruling over chaos and hell." And behold, an angel appeared from the cloud, whose face poured forth fire, its likeness dirty with blood, named Nebro, which means apostate, but yet others call him Yaldabaoth. Another angel came out of the cloud, Saklas. Nebro created 6 angels and Saklas for help, and these produced 12 angels in heaven, and each took a part of heaven. The 12 archons spoke with the 12 angels, "Let each of you serve us." And they served them. The 5 angels did likewise. The first is who is called the Christ. The second is Harmatoth, who The third is Galila. The 4th is Yobel. The 5th Adonai. Those are the 5 who rule over hell and the principles of chaos. Then Saklas said to the angels, "Let us create a man according to our likeness and image." So they formed Adam and his wife Eve. But in the cloud she was called Life, and by this name all generations seek after it, and each calls her by their name for her. But Sakla didn't, and the Archon said to them, "Your life will be brief. Spend your time with your children." Judas said to Jesus, "How long does a person live?" Jesus said, "Why do you want to know? Adam in his generation received his time, such a period there, and he received his kingdom and his Archon." Judas said to Jesus, "Does the human spirit die?" Jesus said, "This is how God ordered Michael to endow human spirits as a loan, so that they might return them. But it is the Great One who ordered Gabriel to endow the spirits of the great kingless generation, both spirit and soul. Therefore, these remaining souls, them, light, and surrounding spirit in you, which makes you dwell in this body, in the angelic generation. God let them give gnosis to Adam and his company, so that the kings of chaos and of hell might not rule over them." So Judas said to Jesus, "What will those generations do then?" Jesus said, "I truly say to you, the stars are coming to completion over all things. But when Saklas completes his time, which has been fixed for him, their first star will come with the generations. And what they have said, they too will come to completion. Then they will fornicate in my name and slay their children. And they will, and they will." 5 lines missing in the text. "In my name, and your star will rule over the 13th eon." Afterwards Jesus laughed, and Judas said, "Master, why do you laugh at us?" Jesus answered and said, "I am not laughing at you, but at the error of the stars. Because these 6 stars wander around with these 5 warriors, and all those will be destroyed with their creatures." Judas said to Jesus, "What will the baptized do in your name?" Jesus said, "Truly I say to you, this baptism in my name, blank," 5 lines missing. "To me, truly I say to you, Judas, those who sacrifice to Sockless blaspheme God." 3 more incomplete lines. "Everything evil, but you will exceed them all, for you will sacrifice the man who bears me. Already your horn has been raised, and your wrath is full, and your star passes by, and your heart is determined. Truly I say to you, your last blank become blank is blank grieving. The archon have been obliterated. Then the type of the great generation of Adam will be exalted, for that generation, which is before the sky, the earth and the angels, exists through the eons. Behold, everything has been told to you. Lift your eyes and see the cloud and the light within, and the stars surrounding it. The star which is leading, that is your star." So Judas lifted his eyes up and saw the luminous cloud. He went inside it. Those standing below heard a voice sounding from the cloud saying, "The great generation." 8 further lines damaged. "The high priest murmured because he went to the guest room and prayed. But some of the scribes there were watching, so they might arrest him during the prayer, but they feared him because the crowd considered him to be a prophet for them all. They approached Judas and said to them, 'What are you doing here? You are Jesus' disciple.' So he answered them as they wished. Judas took the money and handed him over to them.